In this video, we're going to start hand sewing. Let's start with the ears. Start with your thread. My technique is to do a full arm's length of thread. Pull it all the way through the needle, and I'm doubling up. Because then with every stitch, I'm not maxing out on my arm stretch. All right, let's get started. I always start on the center seam of the ear. Little stitches, and then I comb out the stitch if I've pulled any fur. If we keep the stitches clean as we go, then we have to do less combing afterwards, and the more natural it looks, and the more seamless it looks. Keep a firm grip with your opposite hand while you sew, adjusting your grip as you move along. This part of the ear can be a bit tricky. Do your best to keep a tight grip, minimize slipping. I'm not going to comb out the ears until last because I want to be able to see the seams, because at this point, if anything has shifted, I can rearrange it. Yeah, it looks like this guy's pulled just a little bit backwards. I'm going to readjust this. But not by much, so I'm only going to remove a couple of the pins.
Let's repeat our process and start the second ear. Since I ran out of thread, finishing the last ear, I have to start a new thread. I take my thread the length of my arm span and fold it in half before threading my needle.
Now, since this ear is sewn in place and we want the ears to match, I always start the second ear on this seam.
Fold the ear gently. looks like we got a knot. If this happens, first cut the knot, but leave as much usable thread as you can because we'll have to tie it off using those threads.
Okay, just treat it like a broken thread. Snip it off.
Feeding the thread through the needle, pull those tails of thread through the back so we can tie a knot there with what's left of the thread.
Finish it off. Oh, we're so close. It's okay.
Thread the needle just like before. Make sure you have an arm's length, fold it in half, thread your needle, tie it off in a knot. And when we start, we're going to hide the knot on the backing of the fur, pulling our needle up through the fur side. Make sure you get through the hood and then through the ear. After I've cut the thread, I'm going to tie a knot in our threaded needle. Save it for next seam.
Always take a look at the underside to see if there's any hidden pins missing. Looks like we're doing pretty good. Flex the ears a little bit just to double check. I'm gonna put that over my knee again, and we're gonna comb out the seams.
The ears are complete. Next, we'll finish up by sewing in the lining.